Everyone who seems to participate in this debate seems to go immediately to analogizing same-sex marriage to interracial marriage, and I completely understand that, given that Loving versus Virginia in 1967 was such a landmark Supreme Court opinion, and I think that's what people are hoping for with regard to what the Supreme Court will do later on this year. But I actually think that the better analogy with regard to same-sex marriage is not to the race cases, but rather to the sex equality cases. And so this has been a strand in legal scholarship for some time, where the idea is sexual orientation discrimination is per se sex discrimination, in that if we didn't have sexes, there'd be no such thing as sexual orientation. Right? So if there aren't men and women, isn't such a thing as sexual orientation. And furthermore, it is sex discrimination to tell somebody that they can't marry somebody of the same sex, because if a man can marry a woman, but a man can't marry a man, the only thing that is allowing one action and precluding the other is the sex of one of the parties. Right? So I argue in my book that we need to make both arguments. Justice Kennedy famously asked in the oral arguments in the last round of cases, is this sex discrimination? And it kind of hung in the air, like nobody really knew what to do with that question. But it seems like what we need to say is, yes, this is sexual orientation discrimination as a matter of social meaning, right? The people whom these laws affect the most are gay people. A gay man can marry a lesbian, but most gay men don't want to marry lesbians, and most lesbians don't want to marry gay men. But on the other hand, I don't think that we should let go too quickly of the sex discrimination argument, because, if you look at the statutes themselves that ban same-sex marriage, they say marriage will be defined as a union of a man and a woman. So genders are mentioned, but orientation is not. So what puzzles me about this is that people think that these arguments are mutually exclusive, when I think that they're actually mutually reinforcing.